Your mind is not just a passive observer of your life, it is the powerful engine that drives every thought, emotion, decision, and action you take. It's the command center of your entire existence. Think about it for a moment. Every outcome you experience is a direct reflection of what you believe and think. If you are not consciously taking control of your mind, you are handing over that control to external circumstances, or worse, to other people's opinions, societal conditioning, or the past. And when you do that, you give up your true power. So let's start by recognizing the immense power your mind holds. It is not simply a biological organ, it is the ultimate tool for creation. Your mind shapes your reality, molds your experience, and ultimately dictates your path in life. From the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you close your eyes at night, your mind is constantly at work. It's crafting thoughts, creating emotions, making decisions, and interpreting the world around you. Whether you realize it or not, your mind is continuously generating the lens through which you view everything. The power of your mind isn't just about being able to think deeply or intelligently. It's about understanding that your thoughts are not neutral. They carry energy, they have momentum, and they influence the course of your day, your week, and your life. Every thought you have sends a ripple throughout your body, affecting your physiology, your emotions, and even the way you act. Think of your mind as the general in an army. It sets the direction, it establishes the strategy, and it ensures that all the actions are aligned with a singular purpose. If the general is confused or uncertain, the army will falter. But if the general is clear and focused, the army will move as one unstoppable force. This is what it means to take command of your mind. When you understand that your mind is the root of everything you experience, you begin to realize that you are in control. At any given moment, you can choose the thoughts you focus on. You can change the lens through which you view the world. You can decide how to respond to challenges, how to interpret feedback, and how to interact with others. The external world is not the master. You are the master of your internal world. And when you take command of that, you take command of your destiny. However, taking command doesn't just happen by chance. It's a choice. It's an ongoing conscious effort. It's about consistently monitoring your thoughts and questioning them. You must become aware of the patterns that run in your mind. The ones that keep you small, the ones that limit your potential, the ones that tell you, I can't, or it's too hard. These thoughts are not truths. They are learned responses, typically based on past experiences, societal conditioning, or fears. And the moment you recognize them for what they truly are, limiting beliefs, you gain the power to change them. But this requires you to be vigilant. You have to be ready to challenge your beliefs and step outside of your comfort zone. Even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain, your mind is the birthplace of all your actions. It's not enough to think positive thoughts once in a while or when it's convenient. The real power comes from consistently programming your mind to focus on possibilities, to embrace challenges as opportunities, and to reframe setbacks as temporary lessons. By doing so, you stop being a passive recipient of life's ups and downs. You become an active participant in creating the life you desire. Now, let's take it a step further. Not only is your mind the command center of your destiny, but it also has the ability to access untapped potential. Too often, people live their lives under the illusion of limitation, believing that their current situation defines what they are capable of achieving. But the truth is, your potential is limitless. Your mind has the capacity to expand beyond any boundary you can imagine, but you must unlock it. Think of your mind like a treasure chest. Inside, you have endless resources, creativity, intelligence, resilience, and the ability to learn and grow. But to access this treasure, you need the right key: awareness. You need to recognize that the only thing standing between you and your greatest potential is the way you think, the way you interpret the world, the way you respond to challenges. When you unlock this understanding, the treasure of limitless potential is laid bare before you. And here's the thing, many people never realize this because they are constantly distracted by the noise of life. They're bogged down by stress, anxiety, or external expectations. They are not taking the time to tap into the true power of their minds. But the moment you begin to understand that you are the creator of your thoughts, and that your thoughts are the architect of your future, you step into an entirely new realm of possibility. The good news is that unlocking this power is entirely within your control. No one else can do it for you. You must commit to taking command of your mind every single day. Start by becoming aware of your thought patterns. Pay attention to where your focus goes. When you find yourself thinking negatively, ask yourself, is this thought serving me? If not, shift your focus. Instead of saying, I can't do this, Say, I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. Instead of thinking, this is too difficult, think, this is a challenge I will rise to meet. And as you do this, you will begin to see the world in a new light. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable will become opportunities for growth. The limiting beliefs that once held you back will start to fade, replaced by empowering thoughts that propel you forward. The mind is an incredible tool, but like any tool, it must be wielded with purpose and precision. If you're not directing your thoughts, then they will direct you. But when you take control of your thoughts, you begin to unlock the full potential of your life. The key to achieving greatness lies not in what you have, but in how you think. Your mind is your command center, and when you master it, you unlock the power to shape your destiny. Every single moment of your life is shaped by the state you are in. State, in this context, refers to the way you feel, the way you think, and the way you interact with the world around you. It is the energy, the attitude, and the emotional climate that surrounds you at any given time. And here's the truth: your state is the gateway to everything that you want to achieve. The state you choose to operate from will determine how you show up in your relationships, how you perform at work, how you face challenges, and how you interact with others. If you want to transform your life, you must start by transforming your state. At any given time, we all experience different states. We can be feeling happy and energized, or we can be feeling frustrated and defeated. But most people are unaware of just how much control they have over these states. They often think that their emotions are something that just happened to them, that their circumstances dictate their state of being. In reality, your state is something you can change at will. It's not governed by external events. It's driven by how you choose to interpret those events, how you direct your attention, and how you manage your body and emotions. Think about it. How you feel right now is a direct result of the state you're in. If you feel excited, passionate, and motivated, it's because you've activated a positive state. But if you feel sluggish, frustrated, or anxious, that's because you've entered a negative state. What many people fail to realize is that they can choose their state. They don't have to be at the mercy of their emotions or circumstances. They can consciously shift their state to one that serves them in the moment. Changing your state starts with your body. Your body and your mind are intricately connected. When you change your physiology, your mental and emotional states will change as well. Think about how your body reacts when you feel good. Your posture is open, your chest is lifted, and you are full of energy. You move with confidence and clarity. On the other hand, when you're feeling down, you may slouch, feel tense, and have low energy. Your body reflects how you're feeling emotionally. But what's powerful about this connection is that you can reverse engineer it. You can shift your body to shift your emotions. For example, if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, stand up, straighten your back, and take a few deep breaths. Start moving with purpose. When you adopt a power stance, you immediately send a signal to your brain that you are in control and that you are ready to face whatever comes your way. It's not just about thinking positively. It's about actively changing your physical state to match the mindset you want to adopt. By making a shift in your posture, you create a shift in your energy, which in turn transforms the way you think and feel. Another key aspect of changing your state involves your breath. Breathing is one of the most powerful tools you have to shift your mental and emotional state. When you're feeling anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed, your breath tends to become shallow and rapid. This signals to your brain that you are in danger or under threat, which can trigger a cascade of negative emotions. But when you consciously slow down your breath, take deep, deliberate inhales and exhales, you interrupt that stress response and shift your body into a more relaxed, focused state. Breathing exercises are incredibly simple, yet they have an immediate impact on how you feel. The next time you're feeling tense or anxious, try taking 10 deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through your nose, hold for a second, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. As you do this, focus on releasing the tension in your body and becoming more present. Within a few breaths, you'll feel a significant shift in your emotional and mental state. You will move from being overwhelmed to being in control, from panic to clarity. In addition to your body and your breath, your focus is another critical element in determining your state. Your focus dictates where your energy goes. If you're constantly focused on problems, stress, and what's going wrong in your life, you're activating a negative state. You're essentially training your mind to keep searching for things to worry about, to feel anxious about, and to be upset about. But if you can shift your focus to solutions, gratitude, and opportunities, you immediately begin to change the energy you bring to every situation. One of the most effective ways to shift your focus is through gratitude. When you are in a state of gratitude, your mind is no longer fixated on what's lacking or what's going wrong. You're focusing on what's working, on the blessings you have, and on the abundance that exists in your life. Gratitude is a powerful state because it lifts you out of negativity and refocuses your attention on the positive aspects of your life. The more you practice gratitude, the more you begin to see opportunities, and the more energized and motivated you will feel. Now, let's talk about how your language impacts your state. The words you use, both internally and externally, are a direct reflection of your state. If you're constantly saying things like, "I can't," or "this is too hard," you are reinforcing a negative state. The words you speak shape how you feel and how you behave. But when you change your language, you can change your emotional experience. Start using empowering language. Say, "I can," "I'm capable," "this is a challenge I'm ready to face." Notice how even just shifting your language can change the way you feel in an instant. Changing your state is also about managing your emotions. Emotions are powerful, but they are not permanent. They come and go, and you don't have to be controlled by them. When you feel a negative emotion like anger or frustration, don't let it dictate your actions. Instead, acknowledge the emotion, but then choose to shift your focus. Ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can I turn this situation into something positive?" This shift in perspective helps you regain control over your emotional state. Finally, it's important to recognize that changing your state is not just about feeling good in the moment. It's about preparing yourself for the long-term success you desire. Your state is the foundation of everything you do. It's the fuel that powers your actions. If you are in a positive, resourceful state, you are far more likely to take massive action toward your goals, stay persistent in the face of challenges, and create the results you want in your life. If you are in a negative, unresourceful state, you may feel stuck, hesitant, or even paralyzed. The difference between success and failure is often not the external circumstances, but the internal state from which you operate. By changing your state, you gain the ability to approach life with an entirely new perspective. You begin to act with power, clarity, and confidence. You stop reacting to the world around you and start creating the world you want to live in. And the best part is, you can change your state at any moment, no matter where you are, no matter what's happening. You always have the power to shift your mind, your body, and your emotions to align with the future you want to create. Beliefs are the invisible forces that shape everything you do, everything you experience, and everything you achieve. They are the core programming that dictates your decisions, your relationships, your career, and your life. Everything you see in your world is filtered through the lens of your beliefs. In many ways, beliefs are the blueprint of your reality. What you believe to be true, your mind accepts as reality. And because your beliefs shape your perceptions, they determine the outcomes you create in life. Most people are unaware of how deeply their beliefs influence their actions. From the moment you were born, you began to accumulate beliefs. Some of these were passed down to you by your family, community, or culture, while others were shaped by your own personal experiences. As a result, your belief system may be a mix of empowering truths and limiting illusions. These beliefs, both conscious and unconscious, guide you like a GPS system. If your beliefs are aligned with success and fulfillment, you move in that direction. If your beliefs are aligned with fear, scarcity, and self-doubt, you will unconsciously make decisions that reinforce those patterns. Beliefs are not fixed truths. They are interpretations of the world. They are ideas you hold to be true, but they are not objective facts. And because they are subjective, they can be changed. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do in your life is to challenge and replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This is the key to unlocking your potential and creating lasting change. For instance, take the belief, "I am not good enough." This belief is not a truth. It's a perception, an interpretation that someone may have adopted based on past failures, criticism, or social conditioning. But this belief doesn't reflect the reality of who they are or what they are capable of achieving. If you hold this belief, you may unconsciously make choices that keep you from pursuing your goals, from stepping into your power, or from taking the risks necessary for growth. But by questioning the validity of that belief and replacing it with a more empowering thought, such as, "I am worthy of success and capable of achieving greatness," you shift the entire direction of your life. The same is true for beliefs about money, relationships, health, or any other area of life. If you believe that money is scarce, that there's not enough to go around, then you will act in ways that perpetuate that belief. You might hesitate to ask for a raise, hold on to financial fear, or make decisions that limit your ability to earn or build wealth. On the other hand, if you believe that money flows easily to you, that wealth is abundant, and that you are worthy of financial success, you will be more likely to take inspired action, seek opportunities, and make decisions that lead to financial growth. Beliefs also determine how you interpret setbacks. If you believe that failure is the end of the road, that one mistake defines your worth, you will avoid risks, play it safe, and miss out on opportunities for growth. But if you believe that failure is simply feedback, that it's an opportunity to learn and adjust your approach, you will have the resilience to bounce back stronger and smarter. This shift in belief alone can radically transform your life. The same situation, the same outcome, can be perceived as either a failure or a lesson, depending on the belief you attach to it. Many of the beliefs that limit us were formed during childhood, often as a result of negative experiences, critical feedback, or societal messages. These beliefs were formed as protective mechanisms, ways to make sense of the world or to avoid pain. However, as we grow older, many of these beliefs no longer serve us. They may have been helpful when we were young, but now they are simply obstacles that prevent us from stepping into our full potential. And the challenge is that many of these beliefs operate unconsciously. We don't realize how much power they hold over our thoughts and actions. This is why it's so important to become aware of your beliefs. Take some time to reflect on what you believe about yourself, your future, and the world around you. What are your core beliefs about success, failure, relationships, money, and happiness? Are they empowering or limiting? Are they based on facts, or are they simply stories you've been telling yourself for years? Once you identify these beliefs, you can begin the process of reprogramming your mind. Reprogramming your beliefs requires conscious effort. The first step is awareness. Start by questioning the beliefs that are holding you back. Ask yourself, is this belief true? Is it serving me? Is it aligned with the person I want to become? Many times when you examine these beliefs objectively, you'll realize that they are based on past experiences that no longer apply. They were created in a specific context, but now they are irrelevant to your current life. Once you recognize that a belief is no longer serving you, you can begin to replace it with a new, empowering belief. The process of replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones involves repetition. Just as you've reinforced your old beliefs over time through repeated thoughts and experiences, you can now reinforce new beliefs with consistent action and focus. One of the most effective ways to do this is through affirmations and visualization. By consciously repeating positive statements that support your new beliefs, you begin to overwrite the old limiting ones. Similarly, by visualizing yourself living from your new belief system, seeing yourself as confident, successful, and capable, you begin to rewire your brain to accept these new beliefs as your reality. Another powerful tool for shifting beliefs is to seek evidence that contradicts your old beliefs. If you believe that you're not good enough to achieve your goals, look for examples of people who have succeeded despite facing similar challenges. If you believe that money is hard to come by, look for stories of people who have created wealth from nothing. This helps your mind see that the limiting belief is not a universal truth. It's just a perspective. As you gather evidence of new possibilities, your mind starts to open up to the idea that you too can create the life you desire. Beliefs are like filters through which you see the world. When your beliefs are empowering, they help you see the opportunities around you. When your beliefs are limiting, they narrow your vision and create obstacles where none exist. The power to change your life lies in your ability to change your beliefs. Once you recognize that your beliefs are not fixed truths, but choices you can make, you gain the power to shape your reality. You can start by replacing your old beliefs with ones that align with your true potential. When you do this, you begin to see the world not for what it is, but for what it can be. Emotion is the invisible force that drives everything we do, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. It is the underlying current that powers our decisions, fuels our ambitions, and propels us toward our goals. But while most people understand the importance of taking action to achieve success, few realize that it is emotion that is the real engine behind the action. Without emotion, action is either non-existent or lacks the intensity needed to create lasting change. The truth is, emotion is the fuel of action. The more emotion you bring to your goals, the more energy, motivation, and persistence you will have to make those goals a reality. When you think about any major achievement or significant change in your life, it's likely that there was a powerful emotional driver behind it. Whether it was the joy of a new opportunity, the fear of failure, or the pain of frustration, Emotions shape our behavior in ways that our logical mind simply cannot. And while logic and reason are critical in making decisions, it is emotion that pushes us into action. Think of emotion as the ignition in a car's engine. Without it, the car sits idle. But with it, the car is propelled forward. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Think about the times when you took massive action, made bold decisions, or achieved something extraordinary. What was the emotion driving you at that time? Was it excitement, passion, or perhaps even anger or frustration? Chances are, those emotions played a pivotal role in getting you to move. When you feel something deeply, whether it's a sense of urgency, joy, desire, or even fear, you are far more likely to take action. Your emotions push you beyond your comfort zone, they help you overcome resistance, and they fuel the fire that keeps you going when the going gets tough. The challenge for many people, however, is that they allow negative emotions to drive them. Instead of using emotions like fear or frustration as fuel to push forward and grow, they allow those emotions to paralyze them or keep them stuck in a state of inaction. For example, fear can either propel you to take action or hold you back. If you feel fear but you decide to face it head on, it can push you into massive action. However, if you let fear overwhelm you and create anxiety, it can prevent you from taking any action at all. The key is not to suppress your emotions, but to understand them and harness their power in a productive way. Positive emotions such as excitement, joy, and passion are natural motivators that can propel you toward your goals. When you feel excited about something, whether it's a new project, a new relationship, or a new adventure, you are filled with energy and drive. That excitement makes it easy to take action because the emotion is so powerful and positive. In these moments, you feel unstoppable. The challenge, however, is that these emotions are not always consistent. Excitement can fade, and passion can wane. So how do you keep that level of energy up when it starts to dip? This is where the concept of emotional mastery comes into play. To truly achieve your goals and maintain consistent action, you must learn to manage and master your emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring negative emotions. Rather, it means being able to recognize them, understand where they come from, and shift them into positive, empowering states. Emotional mastery involves training yourself to stay in a resourceful emotional state, even when life's challenges arise. It means learning how to stay focused, motivated, and productive regardless of the emotional ups and downs that inevitably come. One of the best ways to maintain an empowering emotional state is by associating strong emotions with the actions you want to take. When you think about your goals, make a conscious effort to attach powerful emotions to them. For example, if you want to lose weight, don't just think about how great it will feel to fit into your favorite clothes. Think about the pride and confidence you'll feel when you see the transformation in the mirror. Think about how much better you'll feel physically and emotionally when you're healthier. By linking your goals to deeply emotional experiences, you create a sense of urgency and excitement that fuels your actions. Another powerful tool for managing your emotions is reframing. Reframing is the ability to shift the way you perceive a situation or challenge. If you're feeling frustrated or defeated because a project isn't going as planned, you can reframe that emotion by asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this situation to grow and improve? By shifting your emotional state from frustration to curiosity, you immediately change your energy and perspective. Instead of getting stuck in a negative emotion, you begin to take positive action to find solutions and move forward. It's important to realize that emotions are not just something that happen to you. They are something you can create. If you want to feel inspired, you don't have to wait for inspiration to come to you. You can create inspiration through your actions, your mindset, and your focus. For example, when you're feeling uninspired or unmotivated, you can change your physiology, your environment, or even the people you surround yourself with. Sometimes just going for a walk, listening to an energizing podcast, or spending time with people who uplift you can shift your emotional state and give you the fuel you need to take action. But it's not just about creating positive emotions, it's about learning to transform negative emotions into productive ones. When you feel fear, frustration, or doubt, rather than avoiding those emotions or letting them paralyze you, you can channel them into something that moves you forward. For instance, you can use fear as a signal that something important is at stake. You can use frustration as a sign that you need to adjust your approach. You can use doubt as an opportunity to deepen your belief in yourself and your ability to succeed. The key to taking consistent and massive action is to understand that emotion is the driving force behind everything you do. Your emotions determine how much energy you put into your goals, how much persistence you have when things get tough, and how committed you are to seeing things through. By mastering your emotions and using them as fuel, you unlock an entirely new level of performance and achievement. When you take full ownership of your emotions, you take full ownership of your life. You become the creator of your experience, and you unlock the boundless energy that comes from emotional alignment with your deepest desires and goals. Massive action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the critical factor that turns dreams and aspirations into tangible results. Without taking consistent, determined, and relentless action, even the best ideas, plans, and intentions will remain unfulfilled. Too many people think about their goals, visualize them, and talk about them, but they fall short when it comes to actually taking the steps needed to achieve them. It's the action you take that separates those who achieve from those who merely wish. When you take massive action, you're not just hoping for success, you're creating it through your efforts. The first key to understanding massive action is recognizing that it isn't about just doing more, it's about doing what's necessary to get to the next level. It's about pushing beyond your comfort zone, beyond what feels easy and familiar, and doing the things that challenge you, stretch you, and force you to grow. This is where the real breakthroughs happen. Massive action isn't simply about working harder. It's about being strategic, being persistent, and being relentless in pursuit of your goals. It's about having the mindset that no matter what obstacles arise, you will do whatever it takes to overcome them. One of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to taking action is thinking that they need to know exactly what the outcome will be before they begin. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, or the perfect circumstances. But the truth is, you'll never know everything up front. Life is uncertain and the future is unpredictable. The key to success isn't about waiting for certainty. It's about taking action despite the uncertainty. It's about moving forward, even when you don't have all the answers. Action breeds clarity. When you start moving toward your goals, you'll learn along the way, refine your approach and course correct as needed. But the first step is always to take that initial action. When you commit to taking massive action, you also commit to embracing failure as a part of the process. Too many people fear failure, and as a result, they don't take the action necessary to achieve their goals. They might take small steps or tentative actions, but they're too afraid to fully commit. This fear of failure keeps them stuck, never pushing forward with the intensity required to make real progress. But failure is not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Failure is simply feedback. It's an opportunity to learn, grow, and adjust. Every successful person has faced failure along the way, but what sets them apart is that they didn't let failure stop them. Instead, they used it as fuel to keep going. The more you take massive action, the more feedback you get, and the faster you can adjust your course to achieve the desired result. Another crucial aspect of massive action is its ability to build momentum. Momentum is the force that propels you forward once you've started taking consistent action. It's that snowball effect that starts small but grows larger and larger the more you push forward. The key to building momentum is to start, even if you don't have everything figured out. Once you begin, the actions you take will compound over time, and before you know it, you'll be moving faster and more efficiently toward your goals. The trick is to keep going, especially when things get tough. The longer you keep taking massive action, the stronger the momentum becomes, and the easier it gets to continue moving forward. Momentum is a powerful force that can carry you through even the most challenging times. In addition to building momentum, massive action also increases your chances of success by expanding your opportunities. When you take massive action, you begin to open doors you didn't even know existed. Each step you take leads to new connections, new experiences, and new opportunities that wouldn't have come to you if you had stayed in your comfort zone. It's through action that you start to meet people who can help you, find resources that support your goals, and uncover ideas that you hadn't considered before. Action breeds opportunity, and the more action you take, the more likely you are to find the right opportunities to propel you forward. One of the most important principles behind massive action is the idea of staying committed to the process, not just the outcome. People who only focus on the end result can become disheartened if things don't happen quickly or if obstacles arise. However, those who take massive action are more focused on the journey. They understand that success doesn't come overnight, and they are committed to doing whatever it takes to move forward, one step at a time. The process of taking massive action is itself the reward, as it forces you to grow, to learn, and to evolve into the person capable of achieving your goals. In this way, the action itself becomes the fuel for your transformation, regardless of whether you've reached the ultimate goal yet. Taking massive action also helps you develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep moving forward even when the road gets rough. Every time you face a challenge or encounter a setback, you have an opportunity to strengthen your resilience. People who take massive action are constantly testing their limits, facing challenges head-on, and growing stronger in the process. They don't let setbacks define them or derail their progress. Instead, they use setbacks as stepping stones to even greater success. The more you take action, the more resilient you become, and the more capable you are of handling whatever comes your way. Massive action is also a way of signaling to the world that you are serious about your goals. When you take consistent, focused action, you send a message to yourself and others that you are committed to your vision. People around you will notice your determination and your drive, and this can lead to support, encouragement, and even new opportunities. When you're putting in the work, others take notice, and that recognition can open doors that wouldn't be available if you were sitting on the sidelines waiting for things to happen. The power of massive action lies in its ability to create results that are not just the product of intention or good planning, but the product of consistent, relentless effort. If you're serious about achieving anything in your life, you have to stop making excuses and take massive, consistent action. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect circumstances. Create your own momentum, learn from your failures, and continue moving forward until you reach your destination. The power to achieve your goals lies in your ability to take action, and the more action you take, the more likely you are to experience the success and fulfillment that you desire. In a world that is filled with distractions, one of the most powerful tools you can cultivate is the ability to focus. Focus is the gateway to achievement. Without it, even the most talented individuals can squander their potential. When you focus your energy and attention on what truly matters, you align yourself with the path to success and fulfillment. But focus isn't something that happens automatically. It's something you must consciously cultivate and manage. In a society where distractions are constant and the pull of the next shiny object is always present, it requires a deliberate effort to maintain laser-like focus on your most important goals. Focus is not just a skill, it is a mindset that you must nurture and protect if you want to reach your fullest potential. The first step in cultivating focus is gaining clarity about what you truly want. Many people struggle with focus because they don't have a clear sense of direction. They may know they want something more in life, but they're unsure of exactly what that looks like. Without clarity, it's impossible to direct your energy toward a specific goal. It's like trying to hit a target when you're not even sure where the target is. Clarity acts as a compass, guiding your actions and decisions. When you are clear about your goals and what you want to achieve, it becomes much easier to focus your efforts. You can eliminate distractions, avoid time, wasting activities, and put all of your energy into what truly matters. Clarity is not just about knowing what you want in the long term. It's about knowing what you need to do in the short term to get there. It's about breaking down your larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks and focusing on the next step, the next move, the next decision. Often, people feel overwhelmed by the size and scope of their dreams, which can lead them to procrastinate or avoid taking action altogether. By breaking your goals down into clear, actionable steps, you can maintain focus and build momentum one small task at a time. Each task becomes a building block, leading you closer to your ultimate objective. And as you complete each step, you build confidence and a sense of progress, which fuels your continued focus and drive. Focus also requires you to eliminate distractions and protect your time. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, phone notifications, and the constant demands of daily life can pull your attention in 100 different directions. To stay focused, you must create an environment that supports your goals and minimizes interruptions. This might mean setting boundaries with your time, saying no to requests or activities that don't align with your objectives, and creating a space where you can work without constant distractions. It's important to recognize that every time you allow your focus to be diverted, you are not just wasting time, you are losing momentum, energy, and clarity. The more you can protect your time and limit distractions, the more powerful your focus will become. Another key element of focus is discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay on track even when you don't feel like it. It's easy to stay focused when you're feeling inspired, motivated, and excited. But the real test of focus comes when the excitement fades, when obstacles arise, or when you encounter challenges that make you question your ability to succeed. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward even in the face of adversity. It's the ability to stick to your plan, to follow through on your commitments, and to keep taking action even when it feels difficult or uncomfortable. Discipline is the muscle that strengthens with practice, and the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. As you build discipline, you will find that you are able to stay focused and committed to your goals, regardless of the circumstances. One of the most powerful ways to maintain focus and discipline is by regularly reminding yourself of your why. Your why is the deeper reason behind your goals, the driving force that keeps you going when things get tough. When you have a clear sense of purpose, it becomes easier to stay focused because you are anchored to something greater than just the task at hand. Your why gives meaning to your work and makes it more rewarding, which makes it easier to stay on track. Whether your why is to provide a better life for your family, to create the business of your dreams, or to live a life of freedom and adventure, it serves as a constant reminder of why your goals are worth pursuing. This sense of purpose can be the fuel that powers your focus, especially when faced with challenges or setbacks. Focus also involves developing the ability to say no. In order to stay focused on your most important goals, you must be willing to say no to opportunities, distractions, and activities that do not align with your vision. Saying no is a powerful act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your time and energy are precious, and you are not willing to waste them on things that don't contribute to your goals. Many people struggle with saying no, especially when they feel pressure from others or fear missing out on opportunities. But the truth is, every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you are saying no to the things that truly matter. Saying no is a key part of maintaining your focus, and it requires you to be clear about what's important to you. Another aspect of focus is learning to prioritize. Not everything is equally important, and not every task or decision deserves your full attention. Learning to prioritize means understanding which actions will have the greatest impact on your goals and dedicating your focus to those actions. It's about being able to discern what's truly important from what's merely urgent and resisting the temptation to get caught up in the daily grind of small, inconsequential tasks. By prioritizing your efforts, you ensure that your focus is always directed toward the activities that will move you closer to your desired outcomes. Focus is also strengthened by cultivating the ability to be present. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get distracted by thoughts of the past or future, or by the endless stream of information and input that constantly bombards us. But true focus can only exist in the present moment. When you are fully present, you are able to give your complete attention to the task at hand, which increases both your efficiency and the quality of your work. Being present requires you to let go of distractions and to fully immerse yourself in the experience. It's about being mindful of what you're doing and committing to that task with all of your energy and attention. The more present you are, the more powerful your focus becomes and the faster you can move toward your goals. Finally, focus is about consistency. Success is not about one big breakthrough or a single moment of clarity. It's about consistently applying your focus to your goals, day in and day out. The people who achieve their dreams are the ones who make focus a daily habit. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They create focus through consistent action, even on days when they don't feel inspired. This commitment to consistency compounds over time, leading to exponential progress. The more consistently you focus on your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them, because consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Continuous growth and learning are essential components of success and fulfillment. In a world that is constantly evolving, those who fail to adapt and grow will find themselves left behind. Growth is not something that happens by accident. It requires a conscious decision to push beyond current limits, to learn from experiences, and to continually evolve. People who embrace continuous growth understand that learning is a lifelong journey, and that the moment you stop growing, you start to decline. They recognize that the world is filled with new ideas, new perspectives, and new tools that can help them become better versions of themselves. To stay ahead of the curve, they commit to never ceasing to learn, improve, and expand their knowledge and abilities. One of the fundamental aspects of continuous growth is the mindset of curiosity. People who are committed to growth are naturally curious about the world around them. They are open to new ideas, new experiences, and new ways of thinking. Curiosity drives them to ask questions, to seek answers, and to explore the unknown. It is the engine that fuels their desire to keep learning and growing. A curious person doesn't accept things at face value. they question challenge, and look for deeper understanding. They know that the more they learn, the more they realize how much they don't know. This awareness of the vastness of what is yet to be discovered only motivates them to keep going. They embrace the process of learning as an exciting and never-ending adventure. A key part of continuous growth is the willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when you stay in familiar, safe environments. True growth requires you to take risks, to face the unknown, and to challenge yourself in ways that push your boundaries. The discomfort of stepping outside your comfort zone is where the magic happens. It is in those moments of discomfort and uncertainty that you develop new skills, gain new insights, and grow in ways you never imagined. Growth doesn't come from staying the same, it comes from evolving, from taking on challenges, and from learning to handle adversity. It's easy to stay in familiar routines and stick to what you know. But if you want to truly grow, you must be willing to try new things, embrace challenges, and take action even when the outcome is uncertain. Continuous growth also involves learning from failure. People who embrace growth do not view failure as something to be feared or avoided. Instead, they see failure as a valuable lesson and a necessary part of the journey. Failure is often the best teacher because it provides immediate feedback. It reveals what works and what doesn't, and it helps you refine your approach. Those who are committed to growth understand that failure is not permanent. It is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to come back stronger. People who shy away from failure often miss out on the lessons that failure can provide. The key is not to let failure define you or discourage you, but to use it as a learning experience that propels you forward. Another important aspect of continuous growth is the ability to seek feedback. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools for personal development because it provides an external perspective on your actions, behaviors, and results. Feedback can come from many sources: coaches, mentors, colleagues, or even through self-reflection. People who are committed to growth actively seek feedback because they understand that it helps them see their blind spots, recognize areas for improvement, and make better decisions. Receiving feedback is not always easy, especially when it is critical or challenging, but it is essential for growth. Instead of becoming defensive or discouraged by feedback, those who embrace continuous growth view it as a gift that helps them become better. They are always looking for ways to improve, and feedback is an invaluable part of that process. Alongside feedback, self-reflection is another crucial component of continuous growth. To grow, you must be willing to look inward and assess your own actions, behaviors, and beliefs. Self-reflection allows you to identify patterns, recognize strengths, and uncover areas where you need to improve. It is a powerful tool for personal development because it helps you take ownership of your growth and make conscious decisions to improve. People who embrace growth take time regularly to reflect on their experiences, learn from their successes and failures, and set new goals for themselves. Self-reflection enables you to align your actions with your values, to assess your progress, and to make any necessary adjustments to your approach. Continuous growth also requires the cultivation of resilience. Growth is not always a smooth and linear path. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and challenges along the way. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from these challenges and continue moving forward, no matter how difficult the road may seem. People who are committed to growth understand that setbacks are inevitable, but they do not let them stop them. Instead, they develop the mental toughness to keep going. Resilience allows you to stay focused on your goals, even when faced with adversity. It is the ability to keep going despite the difficulties, to learn from mistakes, and to adapt when things don't go as planned. The more resilient you become, the easier it is to handle the inevitable challenges that come with personal and professional growth. Another key aspect of growth is the ability to embrace change. Growth and change go hand in hand. As you learn and evolve, you will naturally encounter changes in your beliefs, habits, and perspectives. Those who are committed to growth understand that change is necessary for progress. They are willing to let go of old habits, outdated beliefs, and limiting mindsets that no longer serve them. Change can be uncomfortable, but it is also essential for growth. People who resist change often find themselves stuck in the same place, unable to move forward. Those who embrace change, however, recognize that it is through change that they become better, stronger, and more capable of achieving their goals. To sustain continuous growth, it's important to invest in your own learning. Growth doesn't happen by accident, it requires deliberate effort and consistent action. People who prioritize growth make learning a central part of their lives. They read books, attend seminars, take courses, and seek out opportunities to expand their knowledge and skills. They understand that personal development is an ongoing process, and they are always looking for ways to improve. Whether through formal education, self-study, or experiential learning, those who are committed to growth invest in their own development. The more you invest in learning, the more tools you have to navigate life's challenges and create the future you desire. Lastly, growth involves recognizing that the journey is never truly over. There is always more to learn, more to experience, and more to become. Those who are committed to continuous growth understand that there is no final destination. Growth is an ongoing process, a lifelong journey that unfolds as you move through life. There is always room for improvement, always opportunities to expand your horizons, and always new levels of success to achieve. By embracing this mindset, you open yourself up to endless possibilities for personal and professional development. The commitment to lifelong learning and growth is one of the most powerful choices you can make, and it ensures that you continue to evolve into the best version of yourself, no matter where you are on your journey. Unlocking the power of your mind and becoming limitless requires a deep commitment to self-awareness, focus, and continuous growth. The path to achieving greatness is not one of ease or immediate gratification. It demands massive action, relentless pursuit, and the ability to overcome obstacles through focus, resilience, and adaptability. As you tap into the immense potential of your mind, you realize that your capabilities are not confined to your current circumstances or perceived limitations. By harnessing the power of clarity, eliminating distractions, embracing failure, and staying disciplined, you empower yourself to break through barriers and step into a realm of unlimited possibility. To unlock your mind's potential, you must first understand that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. The continuous process of learning, evolving, and expanding your mindset opens doors to greater achievements and fulfillment. It is through focused, disciplined action that you build momentum and transform your dreams into tangible results. The more you commit to your personal growth, the more you develop the strength, resilience, and confidence to face any challenge and overcome any obstacle. By focusing on your goals with unwavering clarity and committing to growth through consistent action and learning, you can unlock your true potential. The power to achieve greatness resides within you. It is not a question of if, but when you take that first step and persistently move toward your vision. When you embrace the process of continuous learning, taking massive action, and nurturing an unshakable mindset, you tap into the limitless power of your mind, creating a future where anything is possible.